And this alternative reality is learning new habits. You see, all that you do as a human, all you've ever done is have systems in play that you learn something and you carry out the behaviour. You are literally a walking cause and effect machine, biological, programmed to learn something and carry it out. Now, some of the tips that I want to say, and this is only for people who are in a really bad place, because I think some people have got some quite strong sort of egoic systems in place. I know some really positive people that go to the gym who love law of attraction, and they are set on getting wealth. And you can see that if you broke down that bubble and say you're just being distracted by insanity, and you've got loads of stuff that you haven't really faced up to, because it's okay to be worthless. It's all right to speak to somebody that's not on your level. It's all right to help the homeless man rather than talk to the businessman. It's all right to be skinny and not have arms that are like this. Then you break down an ego barrier, and that can be very dangerous when done like that. They've got these sort of, hooks on the mountain wall for a reason. I am talking to the direct people who are actually probably hitting their girlfriend or boyfriend because they are in an emotional state and they are acting on behaviour that is harmful to someone else and to themselves. I am to the person who is currently in a prison cell. I am not allowed to mobile phones, but everyone's got a mobile phone in prison. I'm talking to the ones who think they're going to get sectioned in the next week. I'm talking to the ones that have walked past the bridge and considered or seen themselves jumping into that river or on that motorway. I'm talking to people who are at a point where they only think that it's going to get worse. One of the things I'll say to you is awareness is curative. If you can become aware of information, life, the way your mind and body works, it's one hell of a tool to cure you. There's about 5 or 6 that I really love to do, and I think this is one of the most important. Learning about awareness. Now, a simple analogy of an awareness, because you might not know what it is. Sometimes you might have got a rash in the past on your arm. You go to the doctors, you get advice, and they find out that you're allergic to Daz, and you don't use Daz anymore, and the rash goes away. You have got awareness on a condition, and you have fixed it. Now, awareness is like this, but a more mental, introspective one. You learn about how you work, you learn about your fears, and you start walking through your fears. It's going to be uncomfortable, and you're going to feel like you want to die. But guess what? At the moment, in that condition that you're in, are you living? I think this is a risk that's worth taking, because I think that at that worst point, you're not living. And this is the thing that I don't get about the people who've got the hooks in the wall. They forgot that when they was at the lowest point, they got helped. They got led into law of attraction. They spotted it and they didn't believe it. They thought it was a pyramid load of shite. And then they realised it's got psychological benefits, because you can project a different reality which makes you feel good. Now, excuse me, what I'm saying is, reach out and find this for yourself, and you'll see there's lots of people helping. They will come out of the woodwork to help you when you tell them, guess what, the other week I had a really bad fall and I don't know what to do about it. Don't worry if they think that you need to be sectioned or they tell you to go to the doctors. Don't worry about this. You are starting to speak out and tell people. This is awareness. You acknowledging your problem is the first step, that you're actually being aware that, hold on a sec, I'm realising my behaviour can't carry on. I'm lazy, I'm not working, I'm just ruining my mum and dad's life. What the hell is going on? I'm putting pictures of myself self-harming or in hospital, thinking that's okay to just dance on camera like some sort of actor of The Greatest Showman. And you're not doing the projection of The Greatest Showman. You're doing the freak show, the monsters, the scary stuff, the things that people don't want to look at because it's in themselves. You see, these people with the hooks on the wall won't go anywhere near anybody like a homeless person or give charity back to ignorant people because that's them. That was them yesterday, and they don't want to go back to yesterday because they were different. And I think I've just quoted Alice in Wonderland, so I apologise for that. Constant plagiarism again. That's all that we ever are. We are species that are just speaking through acts of experience. So awareness is curative. Understand fears and how you have to get through a fear, and you have to change the energy of a fear for it to help you. You see, the energy of fear drives a businessman to own a business and have 6 different empires on the go at the same time. That's only fear. That's only fear of patheticness, fear of insanity. Do you know what I mean? Third one, understand love, true love, how to love yourself. You see, a love for me, there was a quote the other day that I saw that said, if you light a candle, if you use one candle to light 10 candles, the flame never goes out. Now, this is the stuff that gets lost on people. Now, it's a simple analogy that basically your infinite power, you're not going to lose out anything on another person. Now, when you're in mental health, you are happy to be on your own. I'm probably talking to those people, the people who are sitting there going, actually this is true, this is true. You're not actually saying it to anybody because you're on your own. You cannot even get a relationship because you're scared of love, you're scared of rejection, you're scared of feeling pain, and all you want to do is unconsciously be significant. You want to have meaning and purpose, and at the moment you're not living life. And in my mental health, this uncomfortable feeling that I have now, I want to say there's a different will that exists. It's altering reality, knowing that you have the power to do that. It's understanding what reality is. It's accepting the uncomfortableness of reality. Guess what? There may be a God, or there may not be a God. Law of attraction. Guess what? If you put a positive vibration out into the world, it might come back and stab you in the back. That's the truth about law of attraction. And all the other philosophies are merely distractions from insanity. And all you can do is experience the moment, here and now, as Ram Dass would say, of enjoying this constant experience that never ends until it ends, and then it may not even end, and enjoy that feeling. And you have to let go of all the concepts and the feelings and the emotions. You have to stop being annoyed at this isn't happening. You know what ignorance really is? It's just not knowing information. You don't have to beat yourself up for not knowing information, but you have to beat up when you stumble across something and you don't learn something that's beneficial to you. You can't sit there and say that you've had anxiety for 10 years and you've never watched 5 tips on how to get rid of anxiety. You can't say that. Come on, you can't sit there and say that you've done no homework. If I get diagnosed with any mental health disorder, I become the expert in it. I know the neurological system, the area of my brain where it is first triggered, the chemicals that it produces, from my nervous system into the tips of my fingers fingers and toes into the particles of matter that eventually become stars. I learn that shit, and it's beneficial to me to know what I've got. You don't drive a car without knowing how to drive a car, because guess what happens? You crash it. You become the car crash. Awareness is curative. Learn these good habits, understanding, add positive habits to your routine. I'm not a big believer on all sorts of information, because I think you can get lost down rabbit holes and they all distract you from insanity. So don't ever get closed-minded to think that one thing will be the answer, because that's where you'll get stuck and you won't help anybody then. But if you see the big picture, the pure light, you'll come back from the brink of suicide, you'll come back from the brink of getting sectioned or the abuser in a relationship, to becoming that person who speaks up, who's a speaker to thousands in a room, who says, I used to hurt my wife because of my shit, and I own it now and I accept it. I'm going to teach men how to deal with their anger, and I'm going to help people with their pain and suffering, because we've all got it. It's going on in us all the time. Now I'm going to say that every problem out there is fixable when it comes to mental health, because the mental health is formed in the mind. The mind is an infinite, amazing light source that just never ends. There is no sort of, the tank is empty now, you can't use anymore. We can rewire, retrain our brain, and I hope that this is helpful, because mental health, the worst case and the worst part of mental health, you're stuck, and I hope that this has got through.